Steelfest 2019. Now we have a band here which doesn't even play here or didn't play here. It's Festerday, one of the, let's call it, brother bands of And Oceans. And here having Kena, the death metal growly throat here. Kena, wake up, it's time for another interview here.
Okay.
How are you, man?
I'm fine, man. You know, I'm always fine.
You played with And Oceans here, but now we're talking about your death metal band Festerday, which made a big comeback earlier this year. What does death metal mean to you?
Death metal is my soul. You know, it's since I was a kid. Oh, actually, thrash metal is my soul. But I've always been, you know, into death metal since I heard the first albums of, you know, Obituary or Death, and since then death metal has always been a, you know, the genre itself had a really big impact on me as a child, and it still has. And I don't think it will never fucking, you know, drown off my soul. I will leave death metal. It's more important than black metal.
You've gone through many different kind of genres. You've done your share of grind, you've done your shares of black metal and industrial, but also death metal. So why did you decide to come back with the death metal band?
Actually, it wasn't a, you know, spun of the moment. We just talked about it, you know, we have to guys, all guys just got together, and you know, we talked about it. Maybe we should do maybe a couple of songs. Nah, we don't do any new songs. Let's you know, write the old songs, and those songs were when we are, you know, we were 12 or 13, something like fucking kids, and then we decided, let's do this rewriting again. And then we got this idea of, hey, maybe not, why not continue on this same fucking, you know, path? And we started with, you know, the original lineup, same drummer, same vocalist, and blah blah blah. And but when things got more serious, we had to drop you know, members because of we live really fucking far away from each other. But then we got a new drummer and a new bass player, and then we just hooked it up and we started to do death metal again. And that's the thing, I'm fucking burning for it.
You kind of started from the western parts of Finland and the Finnish coast, more or less, but you have relocated since then. How has this affected, you know, playing the music and rehearsing and all that stuff, since you're living in totally different cities nowadays?
A lot.
How hard it makes your job?
No, both the guitarist and the drummer live in the same town. They do a lot of, you know, rehearse together and make riffs and songs. And I go pretty often to the same town, and then we rehearse together. And it's we don't want to do anything, you know, by Wi-Fi or, you know, send drop zone or send songs to one another.
So you're not an internet band as such?
No, fuck it. No, we do it old school. We just go to the rehearsal place and we do the songs.
So because you have gone through different genres and you have learned your lesson through different bands, how much you need time to readjust from one band, for example, in this case, from And Oceans mode to so-called Festerday mode?
It doesn't take a, because it, you know, we are talking about two different genres, so it's adaptable pretty easily, and we can do it, you know. We are working on one project at a time, This year we are not working with Festerday anymore. We are concentrating on and Oceans, and that's gonna be it.
Some few years ago, you released these kind of old demo track compilations and whatever with SWAT Records. And when your debut album came out in January 2019, you were already signed to Season of Mist. How did this come to happen? I mean, most bands have to work their, job from smaller labels to bigger labels and so forth. But you landed on quite a big label quite soon. How it was possible?
Because we had good tracks, and we had like 4 or 5 opportunities for labels, but we decided to go with Season of Mist because we have been on Season of Mist since 97, 98 or something with And Oceans, and it's easy to cooperate with people. I have nothing, against other labels, but Michael from Season of Mist is a good guy. I know him personally, really good, and I know he can support us.
Is it important to you to have other bands as well on the same label, or does it even matter?
That doesn't matter. I have like 5 bands. My major thing is with And Oceans and Festerday, but I have a lot of punk bands, and those bands are in my heart. Nothing big, cassette tape recording, and it's gonna be DIY forever.
How can you dedicate to your time to certain band when you have so many projects going on all the time?
Because you can always concentrate on what's going on at the moment.
Does it take a certain mindset to achieve such a goal?
Yes.
So what do you think is Festerday's strength versus other bands? Because death metal seems to be growing again while having these moments of low moments or low years. What is your thoughts about why Festerday should be checked out above some other bands?
Well, we are old school. We are not, like Suffocation or Atheist or Death. We're not a prog death metal band with 700 notes in a minute. We're doing it old school. You can like it, or you don't. I don't give a fuck. It's okay, because, old school death metal is about the groove. Like the Swedes had back in the 90s, early or late 80s, and I think we have to stick to that shit.
Regarding death metal and the lyrical content, it's often criticized versus black metal or even punk that the lyrics are not that important. They are not taking any stand. It's all about just corpses and cadavers and blood and gore. What do you think about these kind of thoughts?
That's kind of a gore thing, grindcore thing, but with Festerday it's more like a kind of a punk band in a way, because all the lyrics are about preserving nature and how fucked up is the humanity, and the planet is fucking going wasted, and that's about it.
So are you kind of like taking a social stand here with the band?
Yeah, no, maybe not, but in a way, yeah. We are not, we're not an Antifa or vegan or anything like that, but we have a standpoint what people should do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Festerday was inspired by Carcass.
Yeah.
So how much Carcass, when you mentioned these vegan thoughts and not eating animal meat or anything like that, how much this kind of affects, or does it affect at all?
Personally, affects me a lot, because I've been thinking about, I eat vegan things twice a week. I love to, put down the waste of meat, and I think it's important nowadays you don't have to be, you know, hippie or vegan or something, but that's my personal life. I like to, you know, think about the social thing and how the fucking planet is going downwards.
You and me have personally known for more than 20 years, and our lives have changed throughout the years, obviously, with, you know, families and also getting older and stuff. We both started training to quite old. That comes to, you know, brings me to the question of how important, you know, taking care of yourself is to you nowadays. Because back in the days when we were younger, it could be all just boozing around, going to gigs and shows and whatever. But now we both live quite a different life. How does that affect you in your bands?
Yeah, it affects me really a lot because I try to be, you know, not straight edge, or vegan, but I support those forums a lot, and I want to be, you know, I take care of myself. I train, you know, swimming at the gym and running, and my, you know, spare time is activity. It has nothing to do with black metal or death metal or shit like. I don't even listen to music when I'm on my spare time. I just, you know, I'm an active person doing my own shit.
I had a talk with Mille of Creator last summer about how age has changed, and instead of having booze in the backstage and whatever, it's instead of having kind of healthy things, you know, having smoothies and whatnot. Have you gone yet that far, or does that still lie ahead of your future?
No, I don't know, because we don't play really often, you know, gigs. So if we have a couple of, you know, drinks backstage, that's okay. Yeah, I like it, because if I would do this shit, you know, every weekend, I wouldn't survive.
You would be dead already.
Yeah.
So what are your top tips of surviving with bands getting older? How do you see which are the major or most important routines surviving band life as you get older?
Take care of yourself and take care of your women.
Like take care of yourself? Like.
No, not the suicidal, but, you know, take care of yourself as a, you know, activate yourself doing things you like. Don't waste your fucking, you know, time on drugs, alcohol, or shit like, you know, shit like that. And you don't have to be, you know, extremely vegan or something, but think for yourself.
Like moderate amounts.
Yeah.
So we're all about having moderate amounts of healthy things, be it listening to death metal, working out, running, swimming, eating vegan or whatever. So basic idea is listen to some death metal and take care of yourself. Anything to add to this, Mr. Keno?
Take care.
Take care, and, well, all life ends eventually.
Olipa niin hilistellä loppu.
Olipa loppu. Hyvä. Kiitos.